Hi everyone, I'm Papa Boris, and if you just wandered into here finding an Into the Breach video on a search, what I'm about to say is not going to matter, but if you've been a subscriber to my channel for a while, you know that I have been gone for a while, and my son is 4 years old. He's at pre-kindergarten right now, and I'm very excited. I get to start making videos again. Now, I wanted to come back and do Into the Breach. The timing is perfect because the Advanced Edition came out in July of 2022, and what I want to do is a run through of the game with all the squads on hard difficulty, because my first series a few years ago was on normal difficulty. And when you're doing a run through on hard difficulty with all the squads, a nice place to start is the Riftwalkers. This is a really nice, balanced squad. It's quite strong and flexible. In my hard playthrough, I am going to explain what all the weapons are in case you haven't played this game in a while. If that's boring, you can skip ahead in the video, or you can also wait. I'm going to do a series on unfair difficulty with all the squads, and in that series, I am not going to do any kind of introductory remarks. Okay, so the Riftwalkers, the squad you get at the beginning of the game. The combat mech, which I will call the punch mech, punches a bitch for 2 damage and pushes them. The cannon mech shoots a projectile for 1 damage and pushes them, and the artillery mech launches an artillery shell that deals 1 damage and pushes every surrounding tile. So everyone does damage and everyone does a push, which cannot be said for all, if not most, of the squads in the game. Just a quick note if you forgot, the artillery is a lob. It can go over things, but it cannot target adjacent squares. By contrast, what we call a projectile in this game goes in a straight line, hits the first thing in that line, and that's worse than an artillery shot, but it does allow this mech to target adjacent targets. Okay, so with that being said, let's pick our time traveler. For the hard series, I want to use a different starting pilot for each squad. And that means that for the Riftwalkers, there's a little bit of a process of elimination. A lot of the squads in this game, in my opinion, for me personally, feel like there's like a mandatory pilot that I just kind of have to use when I play with them. Riftwalkers are one of the 2 starting squads for which I don't feel that way. So we're going to go ahead and grab Archimedes. This is a bit of a greed bag move. He's one of the robot pilots, which means that his special ability requires a power, but it is a really powerful special. Moving again after shooting makes it much easier for your mech to block Vex spawns. Now, in the early going, it means that this is basically not going to have a special power at all. If this is a failed run, I'll switch and do Henry. Being able to move through enemy units is kind of like flying, except you, of course, can't land on pits or move through mountains or shoot from water, but you get like most of the benefit of the flying without having to pay Prospero's 1 power core to gain the flying ability. So that's what I'm going to try next if the run with Archimedes is a fail. And we're going to stick that in the combat mech. It doesn't really matter which mech you stick Archimedes into at the beginning of the game, or any of the robot pilots, because of course you don't have the power to power up their ability at the beginning. But this mech, I think, with their punching, the 2 damage, and the pushing, is going to be getting the most kills. So I want Archimedes to level up. Okay, so let's talk about island selection. You can do a lot of different things when choosing your islands at the beginning of a run, but I like to keep things simple. It's not necessarily optimal, but it is nice and simple. So the main thing I look at is just the boss and the scion. So this is one of the new scions. It creates spider eggs when an enemy dies that turn into little 1 health spiders that do 1 damage. This is a tough one. I try to avoid this one. This scion causes regeneration. This one's sort of like a medium threat scion. When enemies regain a hit point, if you can kill them outright, it doesn't matter that they regain a hit point. But 2 of the 3 mechs in this squad do just 1 damage, so regeneration is one I'm not a big fan of seeing for this particular squad. This one is one of the new ones as well, and I really like it. This makes the enemies immune to fire, and it also makes them create a fire square when they die. Now, this squad doesn't really care about causing fire. The ice place has some trees, but it doesn't have that many spaces that are going to go on fire at all, so like fire is not a key part of the strategy. And on top of that, the fact that the enemies leave a fire space behind when they die is actually kind of nice, because if you then kill the scion, enemies won't go onto the fire in order to attack the buildings. In fact, I'm not even sure if enemies will go onto fire if they're immune to it. we'll have to check that, see if I can find that out in this run. The boss is a bit of a tough one. It like launches a spore, and the spore takes a shot and then dies. It's a bit of a tougher boss, but I really like the Scions. Let's check this other place. I actually like this Scion as well. So this is the boost Scion. What it does is it makes enemies do 1 extra damage. But of course, if the enemies aren't hitting you, it doesn't really matter. The boss shoots an attack that hits the target and 2 adjacent spaces, does 2 damage or maybe 3 damage, and also causes them to turn into acid. Actually, I prefer this boss over the spore throwing boss, and I also prefer the scorpion over the jumping spider, because the spiders jump and the scorpions doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do this place. One nice thing about the Detritus Disposal Island as well is there's a lot of stuff with acid, so a lot of the time, because of the missions, you're actually going to be doing double damage to the enemies. Now, as far as mission selection goes, you want stars to buy things at the end. It is worth considering what the mission is. So here we have killing 4 enemies infected with acid, and you get like a little bot that turns enemies into acid. Here we have knocking mites off the mechs. This is a new mission. Each mech starts with a mite, and you need to basically like get damaged or like catch fire or go in the water or like repair yourself to knock the mite off. That's all well and good. The thing about this is this opens up this 2-star level, whereas this just opens up another 1-star and power level. So I'm going to have to take a 1-star and power level at some point, but I would rather it be this one, because that opens up 2 2-star levels, and then I can maybe pick the better one of the 2 as far as the mission goes. So we're going to go here. I feel pretty confident about killing 4 enemies infected with acid. On unfair difficulty, you really need to start paying more attention to the map layout. This map layout's actually a little bit tough. It may be tough because there's only like one place where the enemies can like go in a channel for this little bot to turn things into acid. It does have 4 movement though, so I should be okay. Maybe on unfair difficulty, I would have been a little bit more leery of picking this level because unfair difficulty is truly unfair. These are new enemies, by the way. What they do is they shoot out a hook. The hook does 1 damage, and if it's like a combatant, it'll pull them. And then if it is like a mountain or something stationary, then the enemy will pull itself. So it's kind of like the hook weapon from one of the other squads. Now, as far as starting pilot placement, this is a scorpion. It moves 3 spaces. It can go up to here. Do I want to be webbed by a 3 health thing? Maybe. If I go here and the scorpion goes up here, sticks its neck out, I can make it acid and punch it and it will die. And I'm kind of okay with that, I think, because I do not want this to become a logjam in here. It's very important that you like acidify an enemy and kill an enemy every single round, so we're going to go for that. I'm also going to check the attack order here. So it's possible that this gastropod will actually go here and target my guy. In fact, that's actually what's going to happen, because this gastropod goes first. The only thing it can possibly do is shoot down this lane if one of my people is there. Oh, this is actually a really weird start. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hide my mechs outside of the lane. The idea is that the scorpion might still come here. It might not. The scorpion might just attack one of these buildings. But the scorpion might come up here. This thing has enough movement that it can wheel around and acidify the scorpion. Unfortunately, if I punch it, it'll go into a building. Okay. Yes, that's a little bit of a problem. Okay, we'll stick to the original plan then. It just stinks because it means that these gastropods are gonna have, this gastropod will have a target. It's after the gastropod moves up here. The scorpion, I don't think will get in its way, and so the scorpion's gonna end up staying here. Oh gosh, this stinks. Okay, we'll stick to this. Gosh, I never imagined for the first level that there would be this many issues, but okay, we'll see what happens. So yeah, the gastropod doesn't do an attack. I see it, but it doesn't block the scorpion either. Okay, I guess I'm happy with how this all went down. So this gastropod is not attacking. This scorpion, very convenient that the acid tank has 4 movement. If it had only 3, it could go here and acidify, but then I wouldn't be able to attack it. However, we'll just go here, put on the acid. My strategy is often to just be really fast and loose with my moves. And then if something goes wrong, then I use the reset, you know? So I don't want to sit here for too long thinking about optimization. Now, this cannon mech can go here, push the gastropod here, and block a spawn. The problem is that I need to deal with this one. I can push it to the side where it harmlessly attacks the mountain, or I can push it onto this where it will block a spawn. Who attacks? Oh, this is actually the correct play. Yeah, so I need to shoot here. What's going to happen now is that this thing is going to pull its friend. They're both going to block a spawn. And the correct thing is actually to do nothing with the cannon mech, because the cannon mech, if I fire on this thing, is going to cause it to die to its friend's attack, and then it will not block a spawn. So the question is, do I go in here and get acidified? Yeah, sure. We'll repair this acid pool. That could be a mistake. But the thing is, I want to make sure that my cannon mech can like get in there and do stuff, and I'm willing to risk the possibility of like a spider spawning and then webbing it becoming awkward in exchange for having extra mobility. Well, it's a crab, not a spider. However, the crab is a bit blocked here. Oh, the crab's wasting its shot. Okay, great. So it's actually a little bit awkward here, unfortunately, to get an enemy acidified this turn. Because this guy doesn't have enough movement. If I push this gastropod here, I can... Ah, yeah. Okay, that's what it's going to be. So we're going to go ahead and push it here. I would like to leave it where it is, honestly, so it blocks a spawn. But I really want to make sure I meet the objective. Interesting. So I can actually... Yeah, okay. Now I can do that to kill it. Actually, one move I could do... Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Oh, alright. Here's where we reset the turn. Okay. So what we can do here is push the gastropod, make it go on acid, then push it over. If my guy's standing here, he gets pushed back into the building. So I push it over first. It's still gonna block a spawn. It's gonna die. It'll count for the mission. Then I walk in here, and then I kill this crab. Now, I could leave the crab alone, and I could instead walk here and just block a spawn. I'm actually less concerned about crabs, whom I can kill at any time, than I am about a random spawn. So I'm actually going to block a spawn. And I don't want to punch this thing because that'll kill it. So we'll just... Yep, nothing to do with it. We'll just leave it alone. So I do have to now do 2 more turns without a reset. But that's what the reset's for. We've got an alpha spider here. I imagine my guy's gonna get webbed, yep, but luckily everyone on my team has a push, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so we have a few different options here. An obvious one is to shoot my own guy out of the way so that the gastropod will pull the scorpion here. Unfortunately, I'm not blocking any spawns that way. Well, I'm not blocking 2 of them, but this is an acid pool, so whichever enemy comes out of here will be acidified. That'll make it easier to kill, and of course, meet the objective if I need that. Okay, so I think we're going to go for it. I am going to acidify the scorpion. This is actually an alpha, so it's going to do 6 damage and kill the scorpion, which is great. Now, my artillery mech... Aha, this is the problem. It kills my little acid maker if I do this. No, actually I can just shoot here, though. That's... So, by shooting here, I kill my little acid maker, but I allow my punch mech to walk 1, 2, 3 and kill this. However, do I really need to kill this? I don't think I need to kill it. So what I'm going to do is actually shoot here to get it free of the webbing, and then I'm just going to go down here and repair so that I block a spawn, because again, by the same logic as before, I value blocking a spawn more than I value killing this crab. Now this, unfortunately, can't block a spawn because it's getting in the way of this crucial shot, but I am going to take the opportunity to bring it down here just so that it's more likely to be in position to kill enemies. So big whiff there, it dies. See, this is the value of this island. It has these acid missions and it lets you kill the alpha enemies more easily, and enemies in general. Alright, so the crab's finally not wasting its shot. This thing is wasting its shot because I can move my people out of the way. The scorpion's wasting its shot killing the acid spawner, which I no longer need. Wow, this is great. All the enemies, except for this crab, are wasting their shots. So let's see what we do here. I do need to make sure that I get 1 more kill, which can be done fairly easily. I'm not gonna worry about optimizing. You know, if you want to play optimally like you should, for example, try to kill higher value enemies, you know, enemies that give more experience. Like, for example, you really want to... Oh, no, that's fine. We'll just push this thing into the water for 4 experience, and then you can just shoot and kill this thing, because it has taken a point of damage before. Oh, God! Oh! I pushed the scorpion to attack a building, and I don't have my reset anymore, and everyone's acted. Oops! Yep, see, I got greedy. I got the experience, and that cost me a power. Alright, well, the good thing is I made the mission. I think it's just an important bit of general strategy in this game is the mission is the #1 priority. Grid health is kind of like a resource. Kill at least 7 enemies. Do not like this mission generally, especially on hard mode, where there are alphas that have more hit points. So when you consider this mission, you really do want to look at the map. This is not a good map. While we can push enemies into the water on this side or the acid pools over here, enemies that stand right here are actually very difficult to get into the acid. And you can get into a situation where if there's an enemy in both of these places, you can't really get rid of either one. Or you can't get rid of both. You can use the artillery shell to push one out, but then the other one's stuck there. So I'm actually going to back out of this and go back to this one. The conveyor belts are annoying, but they sometimes actually do help you. The mission is much easier. All you have to do is find some point to either get hit by an enemy or repair yourself. So it's perfectly fine. All right, so this is actually a pretty cool start. This scorpion is going to have nothing to do, no matter what I do. So I can just kind of put my people wherever. Artillery in the back, one thing on one side, one thing on the other side, and we'll just kind of see where this goes. Okay, this thing acidified itself, which is great. Unfortunately, my punch mech is the one who could kill it in one hit, and it is on the other side. So I could have actually considered that potential and maybe put these in different places. So the mechs, just in case you want to know, you gotta get damaged, turn on fire, get acidified. Actually, I forgot about that. Get frozen or do a repair. So if I just walk into an acid pool at any point in this mission, that'll take care of the mech as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, again, not worrying too much about optimizing. We're just going to push the scorpion to block a spawn. We are going to shoot this crab, which does not kill it, but it does stop the damage. And then I have a choice. I can either kill this Scion, or I can get rid of the Mite. Now, because I really don't care about the Scion, there is some temptation to, like, just do a repair action. However, I want the experience. If things go south, I don't want these things doing extra damage. And I'm fairly confident that I'll still be able to get rid of all of these Mites at some point. We'll see if my confidence is unwarranted. Now, the Scorpion, unfortunately, has an attack. It can attack this building or my cannon mech. I'm pretty lucky, I think, that it attacked the building instead of the cannon mech, because I think that would have been more annoying to deal with. So now you have to really think. So what's happening is the conveyor belts happen before the enemies. So this one is actually going to go here and do nothing, but this one is going to go here and attack the power plant and cause the mission to fail, which is very, very bad. So we definitely need to deal with that. I think what I need to do is go here, shoot and kill this one. Now this one's going to move on the conveyor, so I'm not worried about it. I'm going to go here to block a spawn and take care of the mech, or the Mite, and then I'm going to go here with my artillery, and thanks to the acid, the 1 damage turns into 2, and the crab dies. Okay, so I'm a little bit concerned that we still have the Scorpion on the field who can web and one of my people, which would be very annoying, and there's also 2 more enemies coming. Luckily, we got a hooker and a crab, and neither of them is elite, and very luckily the Scorpion went for the building. Had it gone for the artillery mech, this is the problem with the artilleries, they can't deal with threats that are right next to them, so it creates all kinds of weird problems in some cases. But the Scorpion's just chilling over here, so the artillery mech can, at its leisure, just walk off somewhere and shoot it. This is fine. The crab's attacking a building. This thing's attacking my mech. I could even leave it here just to get the Mite off. But I think what makes more sense is just to go here, get rid of the Mite. I don't actually have to do the repair action, by the way. It would just pop off when I take the damage. We'll kill this, take advantage of the fact that the hooker is shooting at a mountain, and then I'm going to be a little bit frisky. I'm going to get acidified to get rid of the Mite on my artillery mech, and we're going to shoot and kill the Scorpion who took a damage earlier from a push, and that acid is clutch, making it die. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how things are going here. We're only going to have 2 enemies on the field. We've already completed the mission, and this is the last spawn. So we're in very good shape. At this point, it's just a little bit of optimizing to try to make sure that you get, you know, as much experience as possible. I don't believe I can kill both of them. It's a lot of health to chew through, so I'm not going to think about it too much. We're going to have my boy Archimedes use the cannon as a punching bag to shoot and kill that gastropod, and then you are just going to move out of the way. Alright, so that's that. And we got another good mission here. Got a little bit of power to make up for the power that we lost very foolishly in the last turn of the first mission. And I'm feeling pretty good about things so far. Okay, so now let's see what this mission is. Defend the train. Okay, so defend the train. This is the ender of many runs. I have lost so many runs to this stupid defend the train mission. It's always a terrible idea to do these until you're like much more powered up, and I'm gonna do it because I'm a greed bag and I'm gonna try to get 2 stars. I also didn't like the kill 7 enemies mission. The train missions, by the way, you only have 4 turns, which means that you only actually have to do 3 actions. This is a pretty rough map because there's a building in every row, so there's no way for these gastropods' attacks to ever be wasted. It's actually very difficult to deal with. Probably gonna take some grid damage here. I'll be happy if I only take 1 grid damage. More likely I'm gonna need to take 2, especially because this one is an alpha and has an extra hit point. So what do? I think there's always a tough balance on these missions. On the one hand, you want to be far away from the train so that the enemies don't block the train. But on the other hand, if you're far away and they do go after the train, you can't do anything about it. So we'll just, I'm not going to think about it too much. We'll just Autobots roll out here and then see what happens when the enemies move. All right, we got our power core. Often these land in weird places. If it lands near the train, it can get super awkward. Luckily, this one is somewhat far from the train, so I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, well, we got some problems here. We got problems for days. So first of all, I don't kill this thing with a punch, which means that that's going to take 2 attacks to deal with. Actually, I cannot shoot this gastropod because it destroys the power core, and of course, if I move out of the way, then it's going to destroy a building, which is very annoying. So, and then this one has to be addressed. So it's a little bit of a problem. If I send my punch mech and my artillery mech to shoot at this guy, then I can't deal with the fact that this thing's blocking the train because this mech can't... Oh, it can. It can go here and it can punch it away, but then after it shoots it, the gastropod will be here. It'll shoot my cannon mech, pull it in front of the train, and then it's going to cause the train to blow up. This mech doesn't have the movement to get on the underbelly. The artillery mech could push the gastropod forward. Ah, this is it. Okay, so I need to go here. I need to shoot this thing. And then I gotta punch this thing. Wait a minute. Hold up. Okay, so what I could do is I could punch this thing and then do something like this to push my guy into the gastropod, killing it, and push this thing out of the way? Alright, now what can you do? Tragically, you cannot shoot to get a damage on this gastropod because that will destroy the pod. You can just go here and let building damage happen. But I think what I'm going to do is just tragically stay here. I mean, I could let it hook this thing up to the building. It would get acidified doing that. So I could just like go here and let the grid damage happen in exchange for having this thing be acidified. Problem is, the acid doesn't help that much, only if the punch mech punches it, because the other 2 mechs I have do just 1 damage, and 1 damage on a 3 health enemy that's acidified isn't going to matter. So yeah, this feels lame, but this pod, I guess, did actually come in a kind of bad spot. It prevents me from getting a damage on that gastropod. Now, we're in pretty bad shape here. We got 2 enemies on the field with 3 health each, and 2 more enemies are coming. One of them's a Scion, thank goodness. Scorpion's a little bit scary here. Oh, this is rough. This right here, how do you get this out of here? Oh god, oh jeez. Okay, well, hilarious. Alrighty, well, let's see. I think I just don't have a choice. There's just no way that I'm gonna deal with this except by damaging the building. So we are going to shoot here. Now this causes the gastropod to kill the Scion and block a spawn. I guess that's good. Punch mech really doesn't have much to do. Well, I could go here, shoot the Scorpion out of the way, and then the punch mech moves. But the problem is, I can't punch this guy to stop the building damage. If I punch it into the artillery dies. If I punch it into the train dies. Maybe I could have done the order differently. and then punched this first, killed it, and then done the shot, but I used my reset. Okay, no point crying over spilled milk. Let's punch this. And I'm just going to get this pod, and I guess it makes sense to actually do this damage so that this will actually die when it blocks a spawn. Okay, pretty happy about that. All things considered, I have a feeling that was insanely lucky. So I did take 2 grid damage here, but we now have just these 2 gastropods and the 1 gastropod and a scorpion to deal with. Could be worse, could be worse. Scorpion only does 1 damage, it's not going to kill my brute. Okay, not going to think about this too much. Punch, kill that. Oh, wait a minute. I can't shoot the scorpion with the artillery mech. Okay, there is a way to kill the scorpion, though. If I shoot it into this puddle, and then shoot it into the mountain, that should be just enough. Okay. Maybe could have saved 1 grid damage if I had not used my reset on the first turn. But I'm okay with that. Hopefully we get some power grid back. Ooh, we got a weapon. Science class. Don't have a science mech. Sometimes it is correct to use cross-class weapons. I don't think that the shield projector is good enough. Like, I've definitely used, like, the freeze weapon before, for example. I think that's worth it, but... Okay, so we've got destroy the... Okay, so this is a new mission. It has this thing called the storm controller that causes everything to have acid, and you need to destroy it at some point. And I like this mission a lot. What's great about this mission is that sometimes the enemies will target the storm controller for you, and the fact that everything has acid means it's all a lot easier to kill. So that's definitely better than killing 7 enemies, even though I would like some power. We're just going to go here. It seems like a fine map. So we're just going to do this. Okay, so with 2 gastropods, I think very simple placement here. We want to load up in these 2 lanes. This lane, we can just move the mechs out of the way if the gastropods shoot down the lane. And then this lane would be really great if the gastropod shoots down this lane. We can just move out of the way and it damages the storm controller. So I'm fine with this. Less than 3 grid damage, of course, is always a great mission because if you're taking 3 grid damage, I mean, like, I would lose the game if I took 3 grid damage. So it's kind of a freebie as far as missions go. Okay, so some interesting options here. Obviously, I can block a... Oh, you know what? I forgot to spend a power core. Ah, rookie mistake. I should have given somebody an extra movement, or maybe given Archimedes a special power. Forgot to do that. But anyway, so we can do a few different things here. I can block a spawn. Can't punch the Scion because that would punch into a building, but I can block a spawn. This will do... With the boost, it's actually going to destroy the controller. Now, do I want the controller to die in the first round? I don't know that I do. I think we're just going to keep it simple here. Let's definitely block a spawn. And let's kill one of these. Let's see, it's not going to kill the storm controller. It is just going to... Oh, it is going to kill it with the Scion, right? With the boost, it's going to do 4 damage because the controller is itself acidified. Yeah, I'm going to take a bit of a risk. Let's keep the storm controller around. Might be a mistake, but it's the mistake I'm going to make. And you have nothing to do. Note that repairing does not help. It does not make you unacidified because the storm controller is just making everything constantly acidified. Notice how nice the Scion is. We can just ignore it. And I believe, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe like this counts as an enemy on the field, you know? So it's really great. Okay, I think, again, not going to think about this too much. I'll just make a really simple move. I am going to take this opportunity to shoot the storm controller myself, so now only 1 more shot is needed to kill it. Then with my... I messed up. Placing my artillery. Okay. Once you shoot, you can't undo a move. I needed to put it here. There we go. So we're going to shoot this, and the artillery needs to shoot this square. It pushes the crab onto a spawn, making it miss the building. It also pushes the gastropod here, killing the Scion. And then my punch mech will just unglamorously repair itself and block a spawn. So no more boost for the enemies. Feeling pretty good here. We just need to shoot the storm controller 1 more time. The enemies are all wasting their attacks, which is great. Let's see. This will... If I punch the scorpion, it is going to kill my guy. We have a variety of things I could do. I mean, I could shoot the gastropod here, but I don't want it to... Yeah, the gastropod needs to not be attacking my guy. Right. Okay, so I could shoot this spot to put the gastropod here. It will not kill the scorpion, however, because it only deals 1 damage. Double does 2. The scorpion has 3 HP. Okay. I'm trying to get greedy here and block spawns. Okay. We'll punch and kill the scorpion. And then we'll push the gastropod away from doing lethal damage. This then allows my brute to block the spawn down here and kill the crab. So now it's just going to be this gastropod and a random enemy in the final round. I feel very confident that I can deal with that. Alright, they're both attacking buildings. Okay, this is actually a little tense, because I need to kill the storm controller and also deal with both of these attackers. However, I think we're fine. We push. I do need to think about it because I don't have my reset anymore. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so you kill the gastropod, you push away the scorpion, and you can destroy the storm controller for the mission success. And I believe Archimedes leveled up. He got a new one. Skilled is a really good one. So what Skilled does, also, I guess I'll show you when we get out of here. It's really, really good. There's a bunch of new pilot abilities you can get when you level up. A lot of them are kind of conditional. They're not like, wow, that's amazing, but Skilled is definitely one of the amazing ones. 2 HP and a move. So it's actually like, remember, these are separate upgrades you can get in the original game. You can get +1 move or +2 HP. This ability is just 2 of them combined, so it's fantastic. And that means I can actually go ahead and put my ability on. Normally the first power core would go to improving someone's move, but he got a movement and HP. This, the main thing you do with it is you block spawns, so you really want to get the 2 health upgrade kind of alongside it. But because I got 2 HP and a move, I feel really good about doing that, and that is just in time for the final battle. Okay, feeling pretty good about this. And this is a great map, lots of mountains, hard for the enemies to get to the buildings. We're up against the centipede, so here's the shot. It is 3 damage. Oh, it actually does acid in a line as well, and it splashes the adjacent tiles. The nice thing about this thing is that it's not immune to acid, so it creates all this acid, and if you can push it on the acid, even with its 7 HP, it makes it not as difficult to kill as you might think. Alright, so what we're going to do here, very simple. I am going to load up in these 2 lanes to encourage the boss to hopefully shoot down the way, because there's nothing back here for the missile to splash with. That would be wasting its attack. And then we'd have total flexibility to block spawns, kill this crab, and do whatever. It's exactly what happens. Fantastic. Alright, so my goal here, honestly, is just to block as many spawns as humanly possible. I'd love to shoot this mountain to push the sign onto the spawn. However, for that to happen, this thing would need to be in lane with the scorpion's shot, which of course, or the centipede's shot, which would kill it. If Archimedes were in this mech, he could shoot here and move out of the way of the shot. Unfortunately, he is not. So what I'm going to do here, let's just keep it simple. I'm going to go here, punch and kill the crab, block this spawn. You generally want to block the spawns that are closer to buildings, because the further away ones give the enemies fewer options, and in fact, in some cases, leave the enemies without any good attacks. And then for my other mechs, I think we're just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna punch this thing a couple of times. Wait, hold on. Can I hit it with the artillery? I can, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're going to punch it like that, and then I'm also going to shoot here and do a damage with a push. Now, you might make a case for not wanting to do this, and the reason for that is that it breaks this mountain. Sometimes the mountains are useful, but I actually don't think that mountain is particularly helpful, so I don't mind this being in empty space. Okay, so we got a bunch of acid now in play. Scorpion, bit annoying, probably is almost certainly gonna, yeah, it's gonna web one of my people, and there's nothing else it can do. That is a little bit frustrating. Okay, so what I'd love to do is to have the brute shoot this thing up this way, but it is webbed by the scorpion. So how do we address this? Again, I'm not going to think about it too much. Let's just shoot here. Scion blocks the spawn. Scorpion gets out of the way. Problem, Scorpion's also blocking the way of my ideal shot. Okay, we'll get acidified, which is something I might regret later. Shoot this thing. It's an acid now, or it actually already was an acid. Now one more shot kills it. What is this guy doing? What I think he's gonna do is walk up here, punch and kill the scorpion, and then just walk back and block a spawn using that awesome movement ability after shooting from Archimedes, and take advantage of the fact that he has 2 extra health, so he can comfortably take the hits. I'm feeling very good here. This guy just needs 1 more hit. The Scion does nothing. There's only 1 new enemy coming out. It's a crab. Life is great. Life is fantastic. Okay, well, see what happens. Mostly we're just blocking as many spawns as we can. All right, not gonna think about this too much. Oh, hang on. I thought this was the cannon mech. It would have been good because it could go here, push this thing up, and have it block a spawn. As it is, the artillery mech cannot actually do that. Okay. I think I'm going to settle for just blocking 1 spawn. And then you finish off the boss, getting a hefty pilot experience in the process. A mech reactor, very nice. You... I could actually kill the crab. I value blocking the spawn more than I value killing the crab, but I think it actually does make sense to kill that Scion just in case, and if nothing else, it's 2 experience. And notice the fact that I have a movement and a health was important. I moved 4 spaces. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have the +1 movement, and I am now at 2 HP. I'd be dead if I hadn't gotten the HP, so I wouldn't have been able to do that move. Okay. So, can we kill everybody here? That's the main question. The answer is yes. I really would like to get experience with this thing. If I shoot that, yeah, that works. So we're going to shoot this crab, and then shoot and punch. And then nothing matters after that. All right, good first island. Very lucky ability roll on Archimedes. There's a bunch of highly conditional, powerful in some circumstances, but do nothing generally kind of abilities you can get in the advanced edition. Like, for example, that one, +1 move per Vec killed in battle is like, whatever. And we got all the missions, so we get a bonus. Generally speaking, what you want to do with your bonus reward is get something that you can't get otherwise. And this laser, I think, is borderline. It's not like a top tier weapon. It does let the mech do something it can't do normally, which is 3 damage. But it's a weird one. There's another laser that deals more damage the closer you are. That one's a lot easier to do damage with. And there's another laser that bends. I feel like this is the worst of the lasers. You can, of course, make it not damage your allies and have no max damage, so you can shoot somebody from across the field and snipe them. I might be underestimating the ability to, like, snipe an enemy for 6 damage from across the map. This pilot is kind of weird. He gets +2 move and a shield when you do the reset turn thing. I'm just going to take the grid. We need grid power. You know, I took some damage in this run. Let's be safe. Okay, now we look at the weapons. Again, I want weapons that do things I can't currently do. Artillery attack that can bounce to an additional target. This doesn't really currently do that much that I'm not currently doing. It is doing more damage, but the artillery mech's initial weapon already can be upgraded to do damage. It does 3 damage, and that's really, really good. This is, I don't think, different enough that it's worth getting. Prime class. Now, this is definitely exactly what I'm talking about. So this lets the Prime Mech do damage at range and create an obstacle, which is not something I can currently do. So that's a good one to get. The main thing that concerns me about it is, if you look at my situation, I have 10 stars. You obviously want to buy as many power cores as possible. So if I buy 3, I have 1 left, and that's not enough to buy the weapon because it costs 2. So I have 2 options here. I can just see, like, well, this isn't the greatest thing, and just kind of leave it alone, and then just get a grid power with my extra star. Alternatively, I can sell one of my pilots. Now, adrenaline, +1 move per enemy killed, this is whatever. I'm actually going to sell this pilot. So we're going to get 3 power cores to max those out, and I am going to pick up this weapon. that's just my strategy. I don't worry too much about like how good is this weapon. I mean, obviously there are times where I will talk like about a weapon being good or not being good, but I think it's very important to just get something new. And here, the ability to create obstacles, that's new for pretty much any mech, and the ability to do damage at range is potentially relevant as well, like if I get webbed or just can't get into position or something. So we're going to do that. Now we have 3 power cores. So the greedy thing here is to get like a bonus damage on the artillery mech or on the punch mech so it can start doing really significant damage with all the cores. The more conservative approach is to give everybody a bonus move and to make the buildings immune thing. This becomes more and more and more painful to not have the further in the game you get. You just often want to shoot a building and push enemies away from it. I am going to take the greedy move. We are going to get the plus damage. So now this thing does a whopping 4 damage, or 5 if it pushes into an obstacle. That'll kill almost any enemy in the game. It kills pretty much any enemy except for bosses in one shot if you can do 5 damage. And the reason for that is that my cannon mech pilot got this mech reactor, so it can get a move, which is really useful for it. I feel like the move is more important for the projectile mechs than for the artillery mechs because they have the artillery shots. And so now my top priorities are going to be to get the bonus move and the building's immune, and eventually the 2 damage. But next 2 I want to get are the move and the building's immune. And then I also want to get a better weapon for the cannon mech. My personal opinion for the cannon mech is that these are such bad ratios. 2 power cores for 1 damage is really not that good. I'd much rather get like another weapon and upgrade that than upgrade this one. Upgrading this one's kind of a last resort. I wouldn't mind getting health on the artillery mech because 2 health is, of course, kind of terrible. Going back to the situation here, we got the spider sign, which I'm not a fan of, and the regeneration sign. Now, the regeneration sign is not as bad now that I have a mech that does 4 damage. And I am happy to do that in exchange for the crab leader, who I think is less annoying than this leader. So yeah, we're going to do this. Also, the enemy here to the right of the scion, those snake things, they basically can't be pushed, and they will burrow underground if you do damage, but they're very forcing, like you have to do damage to them. Whereas the starfish, those are a new enemy, they attack diagonally instead of orthogonally. They're, in my opinion, not as big of a deal as the burrowing dudes, plus the scorpions are not as bad as the spiders, so I think we're going to go to the desert. Okay, so we have 2 missions with 2 stars. I really hate this mission. 2 mountains to destroy is annoying. These always have like some cracked mountains, but still it's a big pain in the ass. Now this is a great map. We have these empty lanes and the 2 mountains blocking the buildings. So I could consider this. I am better at killing enemies now than I used to be because of how good the map is. However, this, yeah, always do the Terraformer missions. This thing is just so great. Just destroys a 2x3 grid of enemies. It almost always makes up for anything. Like I will take this under any circumstances imaginable. So as far as starting out, let's just load up in this lane to encourage the gastropod to shoot here. And then we'll put the artillery mech on the other side for flexibility. I'm gonna see where this takes us. That is the weirdest pod I've ever seen. That is gonna be irrelevant. Quick rules reminder, I didn't realize this until I think after I began making my series for this game, is that you don't actually have to go pick it up. As long as it's not damaged and is just sitting on the ground by the end of the mission, it's fine. Okay, is there any way that I can... I'm obviously gonna shoot these 2. Is there any way that I can push this crab twice? No, my cannon mech is unfortunately out of position to push it twice. So, I'm not going to think about this too much. Let's just go ahead and kill these 2 things. On these Terraform missions, remember, you got to shoot in all 4 directions. So once I've shot in this direction, I'm not going to shoot in that direction anymore. And as far as what to do next, yeah, I mean, we'll just keep it simple. Let's see. I want to actually keep the crab... Oh, no, I can't go here because it'll still damage a building. Okay, so we're going to push the crab onto the spawn point to block a spawn. I could punch and kill it, but I'm actually not concerned about the crabs, not even the alpha crabs. You're going to block that spawn and a little bit of a hacker move. We're going to move here, repair, and then our Archimedes can move after doing an action. Repairing is an action. With the bonus move, look at this, I block a spawn. Wow, that's a powerful ability. That's why it's a nice greedy thing to start the game with it, but it really can pay off. Okay, so we're gonna have a bunch of X spawns here, just like a gazillion of them. So here is where I need to consider being able to use this. Oh yeah, I can shoot this rock wherever I want. Fantastic. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, So I can stand on one of these places, shoot the rock at the other one, but then the artillery mech cannot block a spawn. No matter what I do. Oh no, okay. So artillery mech blocks this spawn. Terraformer, of course, kills the enemy. You can move up to here, block that spawn and repair, and you can stay here and shoot a rock there. Now, do I want to block this spot or this spot? I'm not actually sure it matters that much. We'll go here to box the enemy in more, I guess, but I have a feeling it doesn't really matter. And then you don't need to do anything with your action because you cannot repair. Alright, Scorpion's the most annoying one because it, of course, webs an enemy, or webs one of my people in place, which can be annoying, but it is the only enemy here, so that kind of takes some of the sting out of the situation. Okay, so you are gonna go here, shoot a rock here, bonus move there, Terraformer needs to shoot down, kill the Scorpion, and this is quite convenient. You can now just repair, and you can repair, and we're just blocking spawns like it's nobody's business. Notice how that principle of don't worry about evaluating things, just get something that you can't currently do with a weapon, and it pays off nicely. Okay, so one very important thing I want to do right away so I don't forget, we need to make sure that we beat the mission, which means terraforming in this direction. And now we need to kill this gastropod. I want Archimedes to level up. There's an argument to be made for like trying to give experience to the allies who don't have as much of an easy time getting experience, because you never know when you might not be able to get it for them. But I just don't like min-maxing that much, and I do want Archimedes to level up and get another ability. He's obviously going to stay with me through the whole mission. Got a pilot. This is a new pilot, and one of the best pilots in the game, if not the best pilot. When I was playing on unfair difficulty, I used this pilot more than any other pilot. So basically what this pilot does is she has the boost ability. Boost means that your next attack deals a damage, and it's a permanent boost because she has it as long as she's at full health. Now once she gets damaged, she does not get the boost anymore, and the mech has one fewer move. So there's like a risk reward, but a lot of the time you just don't really care about it. And she comes with mech reactor. That is an insanely lucky pickup for a pilot. Now, who benefits more? I think the cannon mech does more. The reason for that is that the artillery mech, quite simply, a lot of the time, is pushing things and not always damaging things. Now, I can use the mech reactor from this pilot. By the way, I've been rolling ridiculously amazing pilot bonuses. I got 2 mech reactors and a skilled. That's just nuts. But anyway, so I can use the mech reactor to make buildings immune. I think that's more important because with artillery being inherently flexible, I can wait on the move. And then you have a mech reactor, so you get to keep the move. I see. So we have a core. Great. Let's go ahead and use that core. Now, everybody can move 4 spaces. You could have made an argument for giving your melee mech 5 spaces, and that being more important than for the artillery having 4. I just like everybody having 4. And now let's choose a mission. So we have a tough mission here. 2 stars and a thing. What you want to do is just always kind of consider what the objectives are. You don't want to always take these, and you don't want to never take them. You should look at the missions and look at the map. So defending the prototype bombs is a mildly annoying mission because they only have 1 hit point. Considering the map, this is awful. The bombs are right in there. There's going to be like a clusterfuck, gangbang situation here with enemies potentially swarming these bombs, and you just having no way of dealing with it. So I don't want to deal with this. The potential to get an extra grid on top of 2 stars is not worth the fact that I'm probably going to, take some damage there. Now, this mission I always do, at least on hard difficulty, the one that gives a power core. To get here, I would have to do either this mission or this one. I do not like killing at least 7 enemies at all. However, this mission comes with a new thing in the Advanced Edition. These are Decoy Buildings. Once per mission, you can blow them up, and they will kill every adjacent unit. This will make it much easier to kill all the enemies, plus the map is good. All the actual buildings are pretty far away from where the enemies are spawning. All right, we're going to do this to get to the mission that has a power core. Okay, start is fantastic. This Scorpion has nothing to do except get up to here and get killed by the decoy building. So you absolutely do not want to put your guys here or here, because then the Scorpion might web them instead. In fact, it seems perfectly logical to just pile on this lane so the gastropod is encouraged to go here and waste a shot. So, not going to think about it too much. One thing to keep in mind about the missions that have killed at least 7 enemies, you need to make sure you don't go too crazy blocking spawns. If you do too good of a job blocking spawns, you don't actually get enough enemies to kill, which can be a real problem. Okay, so we have a variety of options here. I could just punch and kill this thing. I could shoot the gastropod, move this thing over, and blow up the decoy, but I'm actually not sure what the point would be of doing that. Let's just cash out this decoy building. I'm not going to be too fancy about it. Let's just punch the starfish. Hang on a second. Slight thing here. I could shoot it with the artillery and push this thing over. Oh, but then it's going to damage the building. Actually, this is a bit of a problem here, this guy. I mean, I can shoot it, of course. Ah, here it is. Okay. I'm going to punch the starfish from this direction, do push damage to the gastropod, then my boosted cannon mech shoots and kills it. Haha. I will just... There's nothing to do, unfortunately, with this thing. And now I have to decide if I want to use my bonus movement to block a spawn. I think the answer is yes. I've already killed 3 enemies. And I'm gonna get 2 more on the field, so that's 5. And I got a guy that deals 4 damage on a punch. I feel pretty good about my chances. Okay, so here I think we have an easy move. Well, do we? It's never as easy as you think. So okay, let's just punch this gastropod. Do that. Now, what I can do is I can push this thing here, so it'll die and it'll block a spawn. And do I want an enemy to spawn here or here? I think here seems a little better to block, because over here it's nearer to my guy that does a bunch of damage. Oh yeah, I can block a spawn. So the question is, do I want to block this spawn? Always be thinking very carefully. I'm about to get up to 5, and I get 1 more. That's 6, and then I have another turn. I'm gonna do it. This could really wreck me. You have to be very careful about these shenanigans, because what's happening now is I need to have an enemy spawn, and I have to be very confident I can kill anything. I might not have blocked this, actually, if I didn't have a 4 damage attack. I think that's the thing, is like if it had actually not had a 4 damage attack, I might have been more inclined to be like, well, probably need to be a little bit careful. Let's see if I can do this. Block a spawn. Kill it. Let's repair, block a spawn. Yeah, I'm really confident that with 2 enemies spawning, I can kill one of them, and also not take any damage to the grid, because the grid is so far away from these spawn points. Okay, this is great. The crabs are no threat whatsoever. He's attacking a decoy building. He's attacking the thing. Okay, so I'm not gonna overthink this. Let's just punch and kill this one, and let's... Oh, I'm not boosted. Hey. Okay, so we'll give the not boosted Kai some experience. It's not so much that I value giving experience to the cannon mech over the artillery mech. It's just that Kai is such a good pilot. I want her to get experience, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be keeping her around, and I want to have her get another roll at an ability as soon as possible. Okay, feeling pretty good. Got the grid defense almost back up to max, and let's take a look at this. I mean, it's worth considering. This is defend the train. Oh no! Passing through the building is going to be vulnerable, definitely. One thing to look for with the defend the trains is when there's like a mountain. Sometimes like jumping or flying enemies get into the mountain and you literally can't do anything about them, and they'll damage the train. That's not happening here, at least. So what I want to do is keep my people away from the scorpions. There's a chance the scorpion steps right there, and then my artillery mech can push it into the water. That would be fantastic. So I want to not give it other targets. Of course, it can still go here or here or here, or attack this building here. So I need to be careful not to go too crazy with that. But I believe I can deal with all the other threats, even putting my people a bit farther away, and I don't want them to get webbed. So where does this go? I think here is a good place for the brute, just so he can maybe shoot down. Actually, no one's going to ever stand here for any reason. Okay, we're going to still do that. I just feel like over here it's an awkward spot. It might not be able to shoot down this way. Okay, this is the worst case scenario, of course. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. So the kind of obvious thing is shooting in this spot. That'll kill the scorpion, push the scorpion out of the way. Main problem, of course, is it pushes this scorpion into the building. However, I think I might be okay. We can shoot this scorpion. Wait a minute. Let me pause, think, hold up. I can shoot this scorpion with my brute onto a spawn point and it'll attack the scorpion. The problem is that even though this one attacks first, it doesn't actually kill this one. So this one will still kill the train. I would still have to do something about it. Yeah, okay, so original plan then. We push this thing out of the way so it doesn't hurt the building when I do this shot. Oop. And then you do what? Oh. Well, crud. What I would have liked to do is punch and kill the scorpion. The thing is that I can't punch and kill it now because because I do one damage shy of killing it, and I can punch it in the way of the train, or I can stand in the way of the train and punch it up. Oh, then I can move out of the way with Archimedes, but then I got the scorpion with 1 hit point left. And then the starfish is damaging a building, so I need to punch the starfish. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna do, even though I'm not thrilled about leaving the scorpion alive. I think it makes sense. So we'll punch and kill the starfish. And I want to block this spawn, because I want to be closer to the train. Although, if I'm here and an enemy spawns here, yeah, that could be really annoying. Block that spawn. I might be wrong about that, but... You know, my strategy with this game is, you know, don't overanalyze. Hopefully if you make a mistake, you'll learn from it, you do better next time, and that's good enough. Okay, we've got the regen, which is fine. It does basically nothing. Artillery being webbed is always annoying. But we have options. So the cannon mech can swing over here and shoot the scorpion out of the way. It doesn't actually do that much. It just does 1 damage and kind of delays the inevitable, but it does deal with the issue. Artillery mech can save itself because the scorpion's damage. It can shoot here and push the scorpion into itself, killing it. Other options. I mean, I could punch the scorpion and shoot it. And I actually do fear this scorpion more than I fear some random spawn. So that does make some kind of sense. The other option is that I could throw a rock here to kill the scorpion. That would block an extra spawn. Free up the artillery mech to do what it pleases, which would be what? To move the scorpion out of the way. It feels a little awkward as opposed to just killing the scorpion, but it does block an extra spawn. Okay, might be wrong about this, but this is what I'm gonna do. So how do we want to do this? I think here, and then I guess you just block a spawn. I mean, doing 2 damage to the scorpion when it heals 1 back seems a little bit silly, so you don't really get to do anything with your action. You have an action available? Oh, bonus move only. Okay. Okay, so I think that was probably the right play. So I blocked all the spawns thanks to the rock weapon that I bought, and I should be able to deal with the scorpion somehow, right? I mean, it should be. Okay, yeah, we're fine. So last turn, and I can't actually kill the scion. It's like nestled in here, but I can give 5 experience to somebody. The question is, do I want to give it to Archimedes and have him keep leveling up? Or do I give it to Kai, who is going to have a little bit of a more difficult time getting experience? Yeah, let's give it to Kai. Punch. Extra movement. Oh, her movement 3 because she has -1 move! Okay. Well, luckily there is a way... Oh, no, there is not a way around this. If I shoot the scorpion here, it'll punch into a building. So either I reset the turn and give it to Kai, or I give it to my artillery mech. This pilot has +1 mech reactor. I'm fine with her getting another level up. And then you, unfortunately, can do nothing. And then, I don't know why I did that. Alright, all in all, I'm fine. That's great. I mean, I might not have optimized the experience point allocations in that instance, but I'm completely fine with how that went down. We didn't take any grid damage, made the missions, got a bunch of experience, like all is right in the world. Now let's not forget to use our thing. So where do I want to put this? The health is nice on the artillery mech in particular, and I can then pull it off when I'm ready to do the 2 damage. I can give Archimedes even more movement. I've been fine with 4 movement. Obviously, like every once in a while you got 4 and you really wish you had 5. Don't want to really upgrade this to damage. Again, this is the same terrible ratios as the cannon, and I just want to be punching things. Mostly what this is the fact that it creates a rock, and the fact that 2 damage kills things sometimes is a bit of a bonus. Alright, we're going to give the health to the artillery mech. This just sometimes lets you out of a jam. Now, we can get this mission. Well, this is one of the new missions. It has kill 5 or fewer enemies. The last thing that I want to do is not kill enemies. So let's do the opposite one. It's a good map. I'm confident I can get these mountains and kill a bunch of enemies. So, Alpha Scarab, fine with me. I can kill it in 1 hit. And honestly, this is a very low stakes situation just because these enemies are all very weak. The crabs just shoot a spot. They can be pushed out of the way very easily. The starfish can be pushed out of the way. It's just not a huge deal. Okay, this is a really, really nice starting lineup here. What we can do is a couple different things. I can just punch and kill this, or I can throw a rock at it. The rock doesn't actually do that much because I can move after attacking. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and punch it, kill it, and break one of the mountains I needed to break. And then we can move and block a spawn. I think I will go here to shoot and kill that starfish. The crab was wasting its shot, and the artillery block the other spawn. This is great. Oh, okay, hold on though. Hold up. Whoa. I've killed 2 enemies. There's 3. No. Don't like it. I need to let this thing spawn, which means that this guy should really have moved here for the enemy to spawn in a better place. Okay, what I'm going to do then, instead of blocking spawn, I'm going to kill the crab. Yeah, so I made a slight misplay. I didn't think it was worth using my reset on. We'll see if I pay for my insolence or not. Okay. Everything works out great here. Let's just shoot this thing and take advantage of boost to not just push it away from the building, but actually kill it. And yeah, I mean, let's just stay here and repair. Maybe it was worth throwing a rock here. Let's see, I've killed 4, 5, 6 spawn. How confident am I can kill everything? Yeah, I think that is worth resetting a turn. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna, let me just, hang on, make sure I don't misclick or something. Killing the scorpion now that I don't have my reset. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put a rock there and just kind of stay where I am. So now I need to kill 3 enemies. I have got 2 spawning. I just need to kill those 2. I do need to kill a rock at some point. That's something I need to make sure I don't forget about. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is, yeah, I'm gonna, this is a chasm. It'll turn into a hole, so it'll actually kill the scorpion. Then, thanks to boost, I can shoot and kill the scion. And then I only need 1 more enemy. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna create this boxed in enemy. And I'm pretty confident that I can kill 1 enemy and attack a mountain. Reasonably confident I can do this. So we got 2 alphas. One of whom is webbing my prime. One of whom is attacking this building. Uh-oh, this is the bad situation. Yep, I'm in trouble. Because I do 5 damage, and it's not enough to kill the scorpion. I wasn't counting on there being 2 alphas. Ugh. Okay. And the really awkward thing is that this brute can't kill a mountain, because I chose to kill this one before instead of one of these. So basically, I can shoot this scorpion away, and then punch and kill the starfish. But the problem is that this brute cannot fire a shot at either of these mountains. Oh, it can. It can fire down. Whoa. Okay, so I have to think very carefully about this to make sure I don't mess this up. Shoot this, Scorpion goes down, punch, kill Starfish, move out of the way with Archimedes' power, and then shoot and kill that mountain. Okay, we got it. Wow. That was something. Worst case, I would have taken the grid damage, basically, if I needed to, because that would have been fine. Clutch Archimedes there, and then we shoot and kill this cracked mountain. Whew! Ah, okay, that was a scary finish there. Well, this is why you gotta be careful with these kill enemies missions. You can't, you know, count on anything. I might have been better off letting an extra enemy spawn. So I just had an extra target that might be, like, not an alpha target. Okay, time for the final boss. So the Scarab Leader, I'm not sure. This might be new in the, like obviously the Scarabs, the crabs, they were around. I don't know if the crabs had a leader. So this shoots a really powerful artillery shot, 4 damage, and it pushes adjacent targets. But honestly, it's still just shooting one spot. So as far as the bosses go, it's pretty good. As far as where to put my things, I'm just going to load up on this lane. So maybe the Gastropod shoots down that lane and wastes his shot. It's a tough map. Most of the lanes have buildings in them. Okay, Gastropod wastes its attack. Fantastic. And this crab wastes its attack as well. That's really, really good. So notice here, it would have been super handy if my Prime Mech had 5 move. I could have come up here, punched, and killed it. Or... yeah, that's pretty much it. But... now, as it is, he can't really do a whole lot. So, what I'm going to do, I think, is go here with my artillery so that we block a spawn. Do 2 damage. Thank you, boost. And now, gotta be a little bit careful with how I do this. So, we'll obviously punch and kill the Gastropod. The question is, what did I get? Adrenaline. Okay, that's pretty good. I can go here and block a spawn. The push from the leader's attack will do an extra damage to it, but it'll also damage that crab as well. I think it is worth blocking the spawn, so we'll do it. Might have been some way to optimize that would have prevented this from happening, but I am not too bothered about it. So, the adrenaline, that's the one that makes you have an extra move per enemy killed. It's decent on this mech, because this mech is a killing machine, much more so than on, like, a random mech. Notice now the movement is 5. Okay, so I could punch and kill the boss right here, still block a spawn. I mean, is it worth considering other moves? You can do some other weird stuff here. You can shoot this boss onto here to block a spawn, and then move onto one of these with the Prime Mech, throw a rock to block another spawn, and then just push this crab out of the way with the artillery mech. However, I can actually do both with the artillery mech. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. We'll block that spawn, fire a rock, block this spawn, shoot here. So, boss whiffs, crab whiffs, all spawns blocked. And then there's, well, the main issue is there's 2 turns left. I goofed. I should have killed this crab. There's 2 turns left. There's going to be another round of spawns. I'm going to lose the boost. I think I'm going to go for it. I am really just not afraid of this crab. It only has 2 hit points. It's easy to just push around and have it waste its attacks. I'm a little concerned I'm losing boost on Kai, and there's still another round of spawns to go. But it's still just these 2 crabs. So I'm feeling reasonably confident I can deal with the situation. Okay, so what do we do here? We could shoot it, but then it'll get pushed off the spawn spot. I could just punch it and kill it now, still blocking a spawn. And then you just need to push this crab away. Okay, so we'll shoot this crab. It's on a dune, so it's going to get clouded, and its attack will be canceled. You will go here, punch, and kill. And we'll stay there to block the spawn. That's a good spawn to block. We'll repair you. And the repair. Why did I repair? Why didn't I just kill this thing? I think it's actually worth a reset. Only 1 round left. And I think it's worth not having this crab around. I mean, the crab does need to be dealt with somehow. So just not having to worry about that is really nice. And there's only 2 enemies left. So unless it's some very, very wacky combination of enemies, we should be okay. So Scorpion's a little bit scary because it can web and it has 3 hit points. And the Alpha Scorpion's even more scary because it can web and it has 5 hit points. But I think we're going to be okay here. What we're going to do is we're going to just, let's see, we're going to push you out of the way. We're going to punch you. And then we're going to shoot you, giving our underdog pilot over here 5 experience. And we're going to call it a day. Alright. Good finish here. So now we just do some shopping and we go to the final island. Let's see what our bonus is. This is not great. I don't want any self-damaging stuff. Abe is a great pilot. One thing I find is that a lot of times I don't care as much about the pilots. Like, yes, blocking incoming damage is great, but does that really matter on the artillery mech? Not that much. And my artillery mech generic pilot has +1 reactor. Opener is interesting. It gives you boost and 2 extra movement on the first round. The issue is that doesn't really matter as much for the artillery mech. So yeah, I'm just going to take the grid defense as much as possible because nothing was useful. Let's check the stuff. Science, not going to worry about it. Prime, already have a prime. Prime, already have a prime. And I think these are not as good as my rock thrower. So we're just going to keep it real simple here. We're just going to buy 3 reactor cores. And the main thing I want is that. Now, one thing to consider before I go crazy, actually, is whether I want to drop a couple of health here in exchange for taking away the health from here. Haven't really used the health on this, but I think I want to keep it that way, just in case of weird situations. You know, you can do another island here to get the extra move on my combat mech, to get the extra health in the cannon mech, but... oh, wait! Oh my god, that was only the 2nd island? Oh, whoa, huh. I felt like that was 3 islands. You know what, though? Yeah, doing a whole other island just to get +1 move and +2 health I don't think is worth it. We're just going to go to the hive. I wasn't actually planning on doing a 2-island thing, but I feel like that makes a lot of sense here. Okay, so we're at the final hive. This guy's the scary one. He creates rocks adjacent to him, and he's got 4 health. We're going to put the prime mech here and try to goad him into attacking him. And then we're going to put the other 2 mechs back to back to try to goad this Hornet leader into attacking both of them. The hive is a really tough set of missions because you don't know where the pylons are when you place your mechs. And that can just, like, completely screw up everything. Like, if there's a pylon that drops, like, right here, like, the digger might just nestle in and you can't get him out. Like, this lane of pylons can be really difficult to deal with. So my plan worked. Unfortunately, there's a pylon in the way. Oh, and then there's this thing nestled in here. Oh, gosh, nightmare. Nightmare town. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Christ. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Okay, so... can I actually kill you? Alright. God, this is not great, but we're just gonna do it. I'm not gonna think about this too much. So I can punch that, and then the push finishes it off. And then the artillery can deal with both of the other 2 things. This is actually currently trying to do, oh, is this a basic type? No, it's doing 4 grid damage. This is a very... very important moment. I actually don't want to get hit by this thing, so I need to go a square back. So we shoot and kill this rock, and we push these guys out of the way. The main problem is 3 enemies are spawning. Oh, actually, Archimedes MVP! 2 enemies are spawning. And this digger's still around. He has 4 health. The artillery mech can't kill it. If he just steps up and attacks us, I might have to take the 2 grid damage here, unfortunately. But, you know, that's just how it goes in the final mission. You can't always protect everything, and grid defense is a resource for you to spend. Okay, Hornets are annoying because they do fly, which can put them in difficult situations. But they at least are weak. Okay, this could have gone a lot worse. I got extremely lucky with this meteor. That's a very swingy thing, especially on unfair difficulty, is where those meteors land and whether the enemies are on them or not. So this thing will actually die. The Hornet's attack is wasted. Now you... what? So I can punch and kill the Hornet, and then that'll give a damage, but then the Brute... Oh, we'll lose a movement and won't be able to get here to where I can shoot this thing off. I can throw a rock here, but the rock blocks the way, and then this thing can't get to shoot this thing, which it needs to be shot. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to just punch in the water, and you will use your boost, MVP boost, to shoot and kill the Hornet, and then you can go back. Does it make sense to block this spawn? Because it's in this lane of friggin' power cores, or the one that's kind of more open? My gut tells me block that spawn. I could be wrong, but it's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we got one more round of spawns. Luckily, the digger is gone. So it's just going to be this Hornet and 2 new spawns. Let's see what we get. Alpha Crab dies in 1 punch. These guys are very annoying. So they create like this explosive that attacks in an AoE. Where's it going to go? It's going to go there. Ugh. Okay. Well... let's see here. You still have boost. You can shoot and kill the Hornet. You can also push the crab and have it waste its thing. Alright, what does this do? Does this kill it? Yeah, I'm not going to think about it too much. We're going to kill this thing because it's just annoying as hell. We're going to kill this thing so it doesn't blow up the grid. Take advantage of the crab wasting its shot so that Boosty McGee can go kill the Hornet and block the spawn. And, you know, not having boost available on the last round is not a huge deal. It's just that if you lose boost in, like, the second round, then you have to, like, do that round and 2 more rounds without boost. That's when it can become a problem. But if you set yourself up well and you're in decent shape, you know, just the fact that you can still push is not a big deal that you don't have the damage. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Okay, we're not going to overthink it. You can push this thing into the fire, this thing's already on the fire, and then you can punch the scorpion into that fire, and then everything dies, and then you can just go tra-la-la, diddle-dee-dee, and move on with your life. There's a slight chance Kai will actually level up in the final battle, but a lot of the things don't actually matter if you get them mid-battle. Well, is that true? A lot of them don't? I don't know. There's a decent number. Like, well, she already has a power core. That's the big one. Grid defense matters, move matters, health matters. Yeah, actually, anything would pretty much matter. Anyway, pretty lucky start here. We get the awesome Blobber gets killed by the falling Renfield bomb situation. Firefly Leader is tough because it shoots in 2 directions. That really just depends on how many lanes are open. There's actually a lot of open horizontal lanes and even some open vertical lanes that don't have any pylons in them. So it might be good. This thing charges and does fire damage. And the Scorpion, of course, is a Scorpion. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, so the Hornet's wasting an attack, but the Scorpion's keeping this in place, making the Hornet's attack not wasted. Charger's going for the pylon. Oh, this is tough! This is a tough spot. Yeesh. Okay. You can't get up to this charger. You also can't kill this thing. Now, if I punch it into the lava, the attack gets canceled. It doesn't die, but the attack gets canceled and it catches fire. It'll take a damage, and it'll die the following turn. So actually, punching it into the lava feels pretty good. What else is there? If I shoot this pylon, it doesn't actually address this guy. It'll kill the Scorpion. What is this for movement? Okay. I have to think very carefully about the order of events. I want this... What do I want this guy to do? I mean, I could shoot him with the artillery at this spot, push him here, have him kill the Hornet. The Hornet will damage Kai, making her lose boost, unfortunately. But if I shoot this, and this guy stands here, then Kai is not able to deal with him. Aha, so that's really the big problem here, is what to do about this guy. If I shoot here, I want him to be here. No, actually, I don't really want him to be there. Yep, alright, we're going to take some grid damage. It's a little bit annoying, but worse things have happened. I'm gonna prioritize Kai Oh, wait a minute. This... Oh, no, the scorpion dies. The falling rock kills the scorpion before it can damage the bomb. Okay. Yeah. So, Kai kind of stinks at dealing with this guy. Ugh. Yeah, it just really stinks. So I can block it, but then it's going to kill me. Or I can shoot it into a pylon, but then it's still going to damage the other pylon. It's not really worth it. Okay. Yeah, it ends up being a very annoying situation. I think what I'm going to do is... Oh, I can't even block a spawn. What I'm going to do is I guess just stand here and finish off the boss. What does she get? Finisher. Okay, last round she's going to have boost and +2 move, so if she loses boost in the second to last round, she gets it back, which is cool. Yeah, we're going to stand there. It's a little bit of an annoying one. I might have, you know, missed some clever maneuver to stop this pylon from getting destroyed. But I do have full power, and that's what it's there for, is to be damaged. And now we have the Hornet, the Charger, and 2 other enemies, and hopefully with the boss gone, we have some more flexibility. The second round is always this. It, like, brings up this claw and turns the square into lava. So it's actually really good if you can manage it to get your mechs onto a spawn point, because the spawn point actually gets eaten up, which is very nice. Okay, so I believe that this is going to turn into lava, so this Charger's just going to charge into the lava and die. If I push this guy into this, the pylon still gets damaged. So what I'm going to do is I'm just not going to worry about it too much. Wait a minute, hold on. That. Oh, no, then Kai will die. If I push this thing up, it's going to shoot the square and kill Kai. Okay, so the Hornet does the damage to the bomb. It's basically irrelevant. I can't get Kai to shoot the Hornet anyways. So what I could do is I could let this pylon go and just let the grid damage happen. That seems rather on the silly side. Okay, we'll go here, push the Firefly into the lava, and then... I guess... What are you doing? You're not doing anything. You can't reach. I've only had 5 movement. I could actually nudge him with the artillery mech and then punch this thing, but then it's still only 4 damage. Doesn't even kill it. Yeah, I guess we'll just kill this Hornet, and then move back and block that spawn, and then you can go here. Make this. Oh, you know, I shouldn't be calling the scarabs crabs, because there's another enemy that's called a crab. Oops. That's my bad. Yeah, so this crab attack is wasted. All in all, though, it's pretty good. I took 2 grid damage, still have 5. I just have this crab, 1 enemy. It's a Scion. Now, the Scions are annoying and you need to kill them, but the nice thing is you just need to kill them. Like, you don't have to, like, position them or worry about what they do. So, yeah. This thing is wasting its attack, which is great. Let's just kill it like that. Then we'll do that. What spot needs to be blocked? I think I want to maybe centralize my mech a bit. Okay. So, in the final round, Kai's brand new ability of Finisher will kick in, giving her boost to make up for the boost that she's losing by taking damage. Got another crab and an Alpha Hornet. Alright, I feel pretty good. That's just 2 damage. That's nothing. And that's 2 damage. I could just literally take all this grid damage and still win. Good feeling. Good feeling. But let's, you know, end in style. So we'll use you to block a spawn. These spawns are not relevant in the final turn. I'm not even sure why they're there. So this attack is wasted. You can do this to punch the Hornet, kill it, and then block a spawn. And then you can go here and repair and block a spawn. Oh, you were already blocking a spawn. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. All in all, pretty good finish. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. You can turn off the video now. We've won, but if you want to see the final quips from the pilots and the scoring screen, you're welcome to do that. But thanks for watching this video, and I'll be back soon with the next squad to try another run. Take care. Now, I don't really care about score too much, but I am kind of curious what the score is. You know, just because that's like a reflection of how many buildings you destroyed and also how many islands you saved. This is not a very high score because I did just a 2-island run, but, you know, if I think I have a good chance of winning, I'm just going to take the chance to win because that's, you know, faster and I'm lazy. All right. Now, I'm not going to be rolling over pilots, so it doesn't matter who I keep, but this was a really good one. Very lucky to have had him. Kai was a good find as well, and even this generic one getting a mech reactor was nice. Anyway, see you again soon. Take care.